Before I begin, yes, I do have my Blue Peter badge on, but it's just sort of there, so you might not see it as much. But a bit of a more serious video today for you guys. I'm not really sure how to put it. I doubt you guys will even really believe me, but it's something that's had a huge mental and physical effect on my life for the past 6-ish years now. But basically, I have a bone condition called CRMO. I was diagnosed with it back in February of 2012 and I've been living with it ever since. So basically what it is it's officially called, in my case, it's officially called inflammation of the left clavicle. In layman terms, that basically means my left collarbone is bigger than my right. That's kind of basically what it is. And I know it sounds like it's over the top, but it's a real thing. I don't know how it developed and where it came from, and because it's so rare, the doctors didn't even really know either. And when I say rare, I mean rare. It's rarer than a raw steak. Maybe not that rare, but it's pretty damn rare. Basically, it's present in 1 in a million people. Yep, that's right, ladies. I'm 1 in a million. So yeah, putting that into a wider perspective, it basically means there would only be about 65 other people in the UK with CRMO, and that's not even taking into account that it affects all sorts of different areas. So the chances that someone else in the UK even has CRMO in the left clavicle is even rarer than that. I know I've been joking around, but in all seriousness, it is not fun to live with. Back when it was worst, it would keep me up at night for hours on end. I'd be like screaming and crying in agony because it would hurt so much. You know, it felt like absolute hell when it flared up. It would feel like my bone was trying to tear through my skin. It would feel that painful. I'd have to try and suppress it with ibuprofen or paracetamol, and even then that would stop working after a while and it would leave me in complete agony. Sometimes it flared up in school. I'd have to like hold back the tears and just like sit there in agony trying to get through the day, just fine because I didn't have paracetamol. My friends didn't believe me at the time, and it took absolutely ages to convince the school as well. They didn't believe me. It isn't expressly visible, but it means I walk with a slight hunch and I'm down either to the left or the right. You may notice that sometimes in some of my videos I may be down a bit like that or down a bit like that. Yeah, so it also throws off my perception of when things are in a line, so that's also why the tripod is always slightly off. As much as I try and get it to be levelled out and straight, it's always on a slight angle because there's nothing I can really do about it, because I can't really, basically I would have to constantly live with a spirit level if I was to be able to get anything straight. I mean, posters aren't straight, pictures aren't straight. It is a mess. Everything in my life is just a mess. Eventually in, I think it was about 2015, I got treatment for CRMO. I had to spend pretty much the last 3.5 days of my summer holidays pretty much laying in hospital, attached to a drip, feeling absolutely miserable and sorry for myself. It was a long 3.5 days, and a load of little sucky things happened that I don't really want to get into. You know, stuff that happened outside, stuff that happened to me while I was in there, you know, complications with the drip and stuff like that, so I won't really get into all of that. But it was not a fun weekend. The treatment worked mostly. It's a lot less painful now than it was, but it still flares up occasionally, and obviously when it flares up it makes me absolutely hate my life. But back before I got treatment, you know, I'd basically never be able to lift anything heavy or anything like that because it would set it off. But since the treatment, you know, I've been able to have 2 warehouse jobs that involve heavy lifting, and I've been fine with those, so I'm quite happy that I can actually do stuff now with it. You know, sometimes when it would flare up back then, I wouldn't even be able to sit down and game for a while or edit for too long. I mean, even now I can't play games for too long, otherwise it starts to affect me, it starts to flare up again. So I mean, that sucks, because I haven't been able to play video games in ages anyway, but you know, it kind of comes as a cost when I do. It will never truly go away, but the doctors are confident that I can live a normal life even with it. I mean, even with that, I still have to live with a bit of a hunch, as I said, which isn't fun. But that's a thing I'm gonna just have to live with. Whoa, that turned out way more of a sob story than I planned it to be. I just thought I'd share it because, you know, it's a huge part of my life, and it always will be. It's never gonna completely go away, so I've kind of just always got to live with it. I kind of want to just bring awareness to this condition, because nothing is really known about it. You know, like I want to be able to help doctors be able to research into it, so then others don't have to go through the pain that I had to go through with it. As usual, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share me around, all that stuff to make YouTube's algorithms like me, share me with your friends, and I will see you next time, when hopefully it's a lot less depressing than this. See you around.